Here are the translated versions of the stories above in English, crafted to be engaging and emotionally impactful. 1. The Christmas of the Orphan Girl. On a cold Christmas night, little Lily sat alone by the window in the orphanage, her bright eyes gazing out at the sparkling lights outside. Christmas had always been special for Lily, but this year felt different. She had no family, no loved ones to gather with, no presents. While her friends had received gifts, Lily had only a dry bouquet of roses from a kind friend. She longed for a family to call her own, a place to belong, and a warm Christmas dinner. That night, while everyone else was asleep, Lily stayed awake. Occasionally, she would pick up her small notebook and write down her wishes, dreams she had never seen come true. I wish I could meet my mother once more. I wish I could go out with my dad and mom like other families, Lily wrote. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. A man appeared, her doctor, the one who took care of the children at the orphanage. He had kind eyes and a warm smile. He sat down next to Lily and said, "Sweetheart, Christmas isn't just about presents. It's about love. Even though you don't have your biological family, you still have a family here. We'll always be together." He didn't need to say more. His eyes spoke volumes. The next morning, Lily woke up to find a small cookie on the table and a warm knitted scarf. It wasn't a grand gift, but it was exactly what she needed. Warmth, love, and care. That was the greatest gift she could have asked for. A reminder that love comes in many forms. 2. A Christmas gift for a stranger. John was a hard-working man in a small office. Every year, he would save up money to buy Christmas presents for his children. But this year, his company didn't give out bonuses, and his personal expenses left him with nothing to spend on gifts. He felt guilty, thinking of his children's excited faces on Christmas morning. They were expecting wonderful presents, but he had nothing to give them. On Christmas Eve, John decided to go for a walk to escape his troubled thoughts. He walked down the quiet streets, the twinkling lights all around, and stopped at a street vendor selling food. An elderly woman, poor and worn out, sat on the sidewalk beside a cart. Even though she had little, she smiled at John as he passed by. He felt a strange pull toward her, drawn in by her simplicity and kindness. They chatted for a while, and the woman smiled, handing John a small red envelope. "I hope you have a peaceful Christmas," she said. John took the envelope. Inside it a small card with some wishes and a little money. He looked at her with gratitude, saying, "Thank you so much." John walked back home, heart lifted. He looked at the red envelope and realized that sometimes the most precious gift isn't a material one, but kindness and compassion. 3. The Christmas Bus Ride. On a snowy Christmas night, Peter, a bus driver, was driving the last shift of the day. The streets were quiet, and only the soft hum of the bus could be heard in the night air. As the bus stopped at a station, Peter saw an elderly man, frail and sad, carrying an old, tattered bag. The man didn't seem to have a destination nearby, but Peter politely invited him to sit. The old man sat down, gazing out the window. Christmas night didn't feel like Christmas. There were no lights, no festive cheer, just the cold of winter and the quiet hum of the bus. Peter decided not to charge the elderly man for his ride. He looked at the man, feeling a sense of compassion. "Where do you want to go?" Peter asked. "Maybe just somewhere nearby," the old man replied. "But you don't need to take me anywhere. Just share a little warmth with me on this Christmas night." Without saying another word, Peter drove a little further. Suddenly, the old man looked out the window, his eyes lighting up. "This is my stop," he said. Peter stopped the bus and opened the door. The old man thanked him and stepped off. "Merry Christmas," he said gently. Peter drove away, feeling light and content, though he hadn't received a thank you other than the old man's appreciative look. That night, Peter realized that sometimes the smallest gestures bring the greatest joy. 4. The Christmas gift from the donkey. On a cold Christmas morning, a poor family sat in their humble home. They had nothing to celebrate with, no gifts, no grand feast, just a small fireplace and a modest table. But despite their poverty, they sat together, laughing and talking. The family was content simply because they had each other. While the children wished for gifts like every other child, the father decided to do something special. He took their old donkey, which had been with them through thick and thin, and said, "The donkey will bring us our Christmas gifts tonight." The children laughed innocently, but the parents only smiled. The next morning, when the first light of dawn broke through the window, the family was surprised to find a large box under the Christmas tree. Inside were warm coats for each of them, new shoes and some food. The gift was not from anyone else but their donkey. It wasn't extravagant, but it was exactly what they needed. A reminder that love and sharing are the greatest gifts. 5. The Soldier and Christmas Night. In the middle of a long war, a young soldier named Jack felt like he had lost all hope. The endless battles, the separation from his family, and especially the lonely Christmas night made his heart heavy. He remembered the Christmases of his youth, when his family was together, when the lights twinkled, and when carols filled the air. That Christmas night, as snow began to fall, Jack and his fellow soldiers were in the trenches. Suddenly, a soldier from the enemy side began to sing a Christmas carol. The sound of the song echoed across the battlefield, sad yet full of hope. Soldiers from both sides stopped fighting, and together, they sang Christmas carols. It was an unexpected moment of peace in the midst of war. Jack felt connected with everyone, not through guns or battle but through the universal language of music and love. That night they were not enemies, but human beings with a shared desire for peace. 6. The Mother and the Deaf Child. This Christmas was special for Sarah and her daughter Mary, as it was their first in a new city. Sarah and Mary had to leave their old home due to financial struggles, and now they were trying to settle in somewhere new. Mary, her daughter, was deaf and couldn't hear or speak like other children, but Sarah always felt blessed to have her by her side. Sarah had no money to buy her daughter a Christmas present this year, but she decided to spend the evening by the window with Mary, looking at the Christmas lights outside and writing each other notes with pen and paper. As Sarah wrote, she jotted down the words she had always wanted to say to her daughter. "I love you more than anything in the world. This Christmas, we will get through all our struggles and begin a new chapter together." That night, Mary drew a picture of herself and her mother next to a large Christmas tree with twinkling lights. Though they couldn't speak, the tight hug Mary gave her mother was the greatest Christmas gift Sarah could ever receive. Their love, unspoken yet deeply felt, filled the room with warmth. 7. The Sailor and Christmas at Sea. This Christmas was different for Hai, a sailor stationed on a ship far from home. Hai had always been with his family during Christmas in the past, but this year, the ocean was his only companion. As he looked out over the vast, endless sea, he missed the warmth of his family, the familiar smells of Christmas dinner, and the joy of singing carols. But unlike the other soldiers, Hai didn't feel alone. He knew that his sacrifices meant something, and as he gazed at the sea, he felt connected to his family through the love and strength that had brought them together. On Christmas morning, Hai received a letter from his mother. In the letter she wrote, "My dear, this Christmas I just want you to come back safe. I am so proud of you." This simple letter was the greatest gift Hai could have received, even though he wasn't with his family. He realized that sometimes peace and love come not from being physically together, but from the bond that connects hearts, no matter the distance. 8. The Christmas gift from the dog. On a cold Christmas morning, Mary noticed her old dog Max was slowing down. Max had been by her side for years, but now she could see the weariness in his eyes. This Christmas felt different, as Mary anticipated that Max might not have much time left with her. But on Christmas Eve, Max did something unexpected. He brought her a small box, inside of which was a bracelet that Mary had lost years ago. It wasn't just a gift. It was a reminder of the love and loyalty Max had shown her throughout the years. Mary hugged Max tightly, thanking him for the gift of companionship and the reminder of the precious moments they had shared. 9. The magical journey. Lily, a young woman fresh out of college, had always dreamed of traveling the world. However, life had been difficult, and she had nearly forgotten about her dream, overwhelmed with the pressures of work and family responsibilities. But on one Christmas Eve, as Lily sat alone in her room, she received an unexpected gift, a plane ticket to a destination she had always dreamed of visiting. The ticket was from none other than her late mother. On the card, her mother had written, "My dear, I know you've forgotten about your dreams, but I want you to live for your passions and pursue the journey you've always desired. This Christmas, I give you the gift of adventure." The ticket was not just a Christmas gift. It was a reminder to pursue one's dreams and to live life fully. 10. The Christmas bus ride. Christmas always felt warm and full of joy, but for Sarah, this particular Christmas was one of loneliness. She had lost both of her parents in an accident as a child and had grown up in an orphanage. But on Christmas Eve, Sarah decided to venture out and find a place to spend the night. As she walked down the quiet street, Sarah noticed a bus about to depart. She hurriedly ran to catch it and boarded. To her surprise, she was the only passenger. The elderly driver smiled at her and said, "Hello there, are you heading somewhere special?" Sarah smiled back and said, "Just looking for a warm place to spend the night." The driver chuckled and said, "We're heading to a very special place. Come along and let's share this Christmas together." As the bus drove on, Sarah realized that sometimes it's not the destination that matters, but the people you meet along the way. On that Christmas night, she no longer felt alone but instead filled with warmth, love, and gratitude. Each of these stories captures the essence of Christmas, the love, sacrifice, and beauty of human connection. They remind us that the greatest gifts are often not material, but emotional and spiritual.